A great philosopher once said that a level RV is a happy RV.
Who said that?
It was me. Question.
Answer.
What is the foundation for every level RV?
A good pad.
Which we coincidentally just built. In this video, we will get into how we did it and why we may do two things differently next time. Let's get into it.
What is up, you guys? It is Lauren and Sam, the trailer couple dedicated to that simple life. And it is another great day to build a pad for your burrito.
Today we're going to be sharing with you how we tackled a do-it-yourself project that's both functional and aesthetic. We took on this task because number one, our home base lot is pretty sloped. Number two, Lauren was stinking tired of us tracking gravel into the trailer. And number three, if you park your RV or trailer on grass for long periods of time, that can actually be really hard on your tires. And it's also a much easier route for insects to infiltrate your trailer.
Ever since completing the pad, we have gotten a lot of questions, so we figured we would answer some of those today and talk you through a few things that we wish we would have done differently at the end. So, as always, we will try our very hardest to get it done in 101 seconds. Let's put 101 seconds on the clock and simplify it.
For reference, this project cost about $1,500 to do it ourselves, but if we had hired it done, it would have set us back around $8,000. The process started with many late nights of brainstorming, beers, pacing back and forth, and really poorly done drawings. Two big factors that affected our design were the drainage and the elevation of our lots. We needed to bring in at least 2 feet of fill dirt in order to guarantee that our waste tanks would empty downhill to our septic tank. Really important. Drainage was another huge consideration because South Carolina has a little something called hurricanes, so we wanted to make sure that we could handle a lot of potential water.
We decided early on that a landscaping wall was our best solution to raise the pad high enough on the downslope. We wanted our pad to be 16 feet wide in order to accommodate easier parking and a more usable space. We really wanted to be able to step out onto gravel instead of grass and have enough room for chairs so that we could take advantage of our awning to protect Sam's very delicate skin.
It's very delicate. So we ended up agreeing on a 28 by 16 foot pad in order to accommodate the length of our trailer in addition to these other needs that we previously discussed. From there we built a landscaping wall. This just helps us have a more level spot in addition to controlling dirt runoff during some of the bigger storms that South Carolina gets. So we applied 4 inches of gravel underneath our wall just to help with the foundation, and then we applied an additional 6 inches of drainage rock behind it to help with drainage. If you don't do proper drainage, your soil behind your wall can get very, very heavy when it gets wet, which can cause your wall to fail over time. So it's really important to have that drainage rock in there and then also underneath the foundation.
We brought in 12 cubic yards of fill dirt to help solve our elevation problem. We brought in our first load Saturday morning at around 8:30 a.m. and we did a lot of tamping and then spreading and then tamping and then more tamping. And then we ended up bringing in another 6 cubic yards of dirt around 6:30 p.m. that night, and we did more spreading, more tamping, more spreading, more tamping, and then we ended up rolling the whole thing over with Sam's truck because Sam doesn't believe in getting electric tampers because that's what trucks are for, or something like that. I don't know.
That is what trucks are for. That's what they're made for.
To roll over fill dirt.
So next we bordered our pad with stained and pressure treated 4x4s, which just helped us the next morning when we brought in about 3 cubic yards of gravel so that we could just spread it out and have it be maintained within that border.
So as Sam mentioned, the last step was really just spreading and packing down that gravel on top of the pad, and then planting our little shrubs outside because plants make everything better. And then this early spring we plan to bring in some topsoil and plant some grass seed just around the edges of the border just to make everything look really clean and crisp. But we're really happy with how it turned out, and the spreading the gravel took no time at all compared to spreading all of that dirt.
And that's time, my friends. Maybe we went a little bit over, but we always do. One of these times we're gonna get it.
One of these times. So Fenton really wants to know what are the things we would do differently next time if we were to do this again.
I think we probably would have made our pad about 5 feet longer. This would have just helped with hitching up our trailer. It was a little bit difficult to de-hitch from our trailer just because the off-ramp was a little bit more sloped than we would have liked. And having a longer pad, I think, would have made that a little bit easier for us.
The second thing that I think we probably would have done differently, or maybe not have done differently, but the wood, the 4x4s that we bought to border the pad were pressure treated, which is great because it helps to protect the wood and keep it from decaying over time. But it was so well pressure treated that when I went to stain it, it was still a little bit too damp, and so the stain didn't absorb like I would have liked it to. So there are parts of the border that aren't stained as well as I would hope that they were. Hopefully earlier this spring I'll be able to go in and restain some of those sections that need a little bit of TLC.
So overall, we're pretty pleased with how everything turned out in terms of the landscaping wall and the pad. Very functional. My wife likes it, so what more can you ask for?
Not a lot.
It's already passed the drainage test at least once. We had one big rainstorm come through already and the water was diverted exactly how we would like it. If you all are looking to make your own RV pad, we hope this video is helpful. We know that it wasn't a one-fit-all template and everybody's situation is very, very different. Hopefully you won't have to include a functional retaining wall or a landscaping wall like we did, because that definitely complicates things.
Yeah, and if you all have built an RV pad before, or like Sam said, are planning on building one, drop comments below. Let us know if you have any tips or tricks on how you all did it. And if you have any other tips or tricks too on how to make kind of your space or land a little bit more homey. We know some of you have also bought land, so we're excited to learn from you all as well.
So this was phase 1 for our home base, and we have phase 2, phase 3 coming. We are excited and just feel the anticipation. Thank you for sticking with us to the very end. We appreciate you, and until next time, happy trails.
Happy trails. If you subscribe, Sam will talk the whole next video like this.